Hi, and welcome to today's training. Dina Merhbi here, business and body balance coach, and you read right. Today we are talking about hoarding and what that has to do with your health. So if you're joining live, tell me hello right below. If you're watching this on a future replay, thank you for being here. Hashtag replay right below. And I'm really grateful about today's session because there's many ways that I try to bring metaphors and ways of explaining things to my clients, because I really want to make sure that no matter the way that we kind of take in information, that we get it, because I want you to get it. I want you to understand it, and the easiest way that it is for you to understand it. And today I want to talk about hoarding. So I want to make sure I am in the video. Replay. Yes. So we are hoarding. So there's a big movement, right? We're talking about decluttering, the minimalistic life, Marie Kondo, and I bought the book and I cleaned up so much. And very often we do take that time to clean up our environment. We do take that time to declutter. We feel good. We feel it creates space. We give to the people that need, release whatever we no longer need. And very often that can create a kind of a spiritual practice. It makes us feel good, makes us feel balanced and aligned. But there's one type of hoarding that we all do as a human species, okay? Animals are not like that, but we are like that because of consciousness, because of our free will, because of our mind. So we're talking about hoarding from the moment that we're born. Think about it. The moment that you're born, you're actually born with a clean slate. It's like you have this empty house, right? And then as you're growing up with your environments, your parents, your family, your schooling, your reading, and so on, you start filling up your brains with do's and don'ts, right and wrong. Do this and don't do that, right? Rules, regulations, stereotypes, racism. No matter where we are, we're kind of taking in a lot of information. And depending on who is guiding us, who is supporting us, who's there to hold our hand and make us make the best choices, we kind of look up to them, right? And this is our parents, our siblings, our grandparents, whoever's within our life. So as we're growing up from that clean slate, we start bringing in that information and sorting that information, because you can't always be innocent like a kid, because otherwise it'll take you forever to keep doing things, right? We learn things that make things easier. The brain likes to compartmentalize, oh my Lord, put things in compartments. Do this, don't do that. It's all about simplicity, right? The brain wants to make things as simple as possible and as safe as possible. So the best way to look at that is you have this whole filing system in your brain that a lot of different people put in different things, and you rationalize them in. Some have stuck, some you've let go, okay? But there's certain files that keep bulking up. Certain things, certain beliefs, certain comments, certain ways of seeing things and feeling things that end up bulking up, and we end up hoarding that, which is creating all these unhealthy habits, lifestyle, eating, drinking, you name it, it's there. And this is what I'm talking about hoarding. There is an amazing course coming up next week. I'm actually sharing it for free. And then it's actually going to be a paid program. So if you want to actually grab it for at 90% off, still access it next week in the live round, but then you get to keep it on your own for life in a private membership site at 90% off. Honestly, this is wow. But I want to do it live because I want to create this wave, this understanding, this mission of helping people understand that it's not motivation, it's not their lack of willpower, it's not because they don't have the money, or it's because it is in a way the way that we grew up, but the way that we grew up, we can make it or break it. We can keep it or we can throw it out, just like hoarding. And we talk a lot about mindfulness. Mindfulness is really the practice of being in the present moment, right? And this is why it's going to be a mindfulness course, where we're going to be talking about balanced eating, mindfulness, intuition, releasing what no longer serves you to be able to move forward and create that dream future that I know you have a lot of dreams you want to reach, and we're going for those. But if you have, remember, this filing system in your head, And you have all these files, all these beliefs, all these self-sabotaging thoughts that are no longer serving you, and you don't do the work to release them and forgive them and wish them farewell to be able to move forward, you are hoarding. We have to take responsibility that in our mind, we are hoarding certain thoughts, certain beliefs, certain habits, because we're scared of change, because we're not ready to change, because we're not ready to take responsibility. And I'm reading a book regarding like money mindset, manifestation. I find it's interesting because no matter what book I read, it's always talking about, do you feel like you're the victim of what's happening to you? Or do you see things like, can I be the victor and move forward? Do you see the glass half empty or do you see the glass half full? And this is the way that we perceive things, and we're not born with that. This is really a decision that anybody can do. Anybody can make that decision. So if you go back to your filing cabinet and you're hoarding these thoughts, sometimes we're hoarding these thoughts because we're scared of the unknown. That's the thing. By the time we're 35 years old, a lot of our habits are ingrained in us, which means that we've developed a lot of thinking, a lot of habits. We might have kids, not kids, married. Like we lived a lot by the time we're 35. So we already have like these anchored thoughts, right? So then you need to look at that. It's like, I have all this filing system and I'm not happy where I am. I'm turning to food as a coping mechanism. I'm suffering from a low self-confidence, low self-love. Like a lot of things can happen in our life. And sometimes we might go in a certain sense of feeling like we're the victim. And I'm going to dive this into a deep way next week in the course. There's actually 3 ways that we don't realize it, that we're playing victim. All of us, okay? I've done it. Sometimes I have my moment. It's really bringing that awareness of saying, I don't like this. I want to change. That's the thing. Being aware of what is no longer serving you to be able to move forward and not staying in that angry phase or the victim phase of whatever happened to us in the past. So this one I'm talking about the filing system. We are hoarding a lot of stuff. So it's easy on a physical standpoint to take a bag and clean things out, right? It's on the outside. It's like, oh, this is great. But we talk about, let's go on the inside and see what's in the filing system, right? Do we really want to go in there? Because we're scared. We're scared what's going to come up. A lot of people went through trauma, emotional, physical, sexual trauma. And the aim is not to go back and actually like look at that event and relive it. We don't want to relive anything. You've gone through it. We don't want to go back there. But it's more seeing, how did that impact me? How did that create fear in me, anger in me, anxiety in me, frustration in me? And how can I start rewiring that process, releasing, clearing up that filing system that is no longer serving me, so that I have a spick and span new filing system I'm keeping the good things and filling it up with new files of success to help us go forward. This is what we're talking about hoarding. Humans, we have 70,000 thoughts per day. And it's not 70,000 thoughts of saying, go, you can do it. It's a lot of negativity. It's a lot of self-doubt. It's a lot of fear, because we are living in a fear-based world. We are not living in a love-based world. And to go from fear to love, from anger to compassion, this is the shift when we're talking about like hoarding, releasing it, mindfulness, clearing, and moving forward. And you'll notice if you keep like a notepad with you, you'll notice that there's a lot of the same thoughts that keep going round and round and round. And the more the thought is there, that means it's like really filling up your folding system in your brain, your operating system. And remember, every thought that you have was like a file that was put into a drawer. It's a learned behavior, a learned habit, or learned thought. It means you can actually take that file out and say, no, thank you. And this is a lot of the anchoring thing that when I look at my work with my clients, we talk about, first of all, like before we start cleaning up that mess, we want to make sure that you're energized, right? We want to make sure that you're fed well, you're balanced, your blood sugar is balanced. I create personalized meal plans. I want to make sure like we're not hoarding diets and all that, I clean all that up for you. So then you're really like strong and fit and clean and ready to go in and start saying, okay, it's time to release. And the thing is, the first step is hard because you're getting out of your comfort zone. The process is not hard, but making that decision to clean up your filing system in your head, clean up, get new things going, getting you out of that comfort zone, even though you're not feeling good where you are, you're not feeling good, overweight and exhausted and binging and emotionally eating and maybe not making the income that you want or maybe not being in a relationship that you want. It's familiar. Familiar is comfortable for the human being. And as we get older, the more familiar it is, the less we're ready to change, to get into the unknown. But in the unknown, don't see it as an unknown, see it as a blank canvas. You can create anything that you want. But we need to be ready to step out. So we need to step in, start unhoarding the thoughts that no longer serve us, the habits that no longer serve us. Then we have this nice space and saying, oh, I want to be there. Okay, that person, what are the thoughts of that person I'm going to put into that filing system without overloading it? Simplicity is key. You don't have to hoard yourself with affirmations and mantras. No, we know too much, 70,000 thoughts. But I want to make sure that we clean up a few and put in some key anchored one. And you just need a few to be able to create the life of food freedom, weight freedom, anxiety freedom, freedom in all shapes or form. So that's what we're going to go look at into the course. We're going to have 5 days together. The recordings are going to only be up for 24 hours, but those that actually purchase the course ahead of time at 90% off will get the recordings for free for life. I might be shifting it into another Facebook group where I'm going to be inviting you to go there for those that purchased it, so that you can ask me your questions. Because hey, I love getting to know my people. I love getting to know my clients. I'm not the kind of person like, here you go, buy something and, chat. Like, I want to get to know you. I want us to improve the program together and the course together. So that's what I'm thinking. We're going to do everything in one of the groups. And then when I'm going to be closing up that group, you're going to have access to all the videos in another private mindfulness course group. So we're going to grow together and learn together and change together and transform together, because the power of community is so powerful, and the power of support. Somebody who's been there, who's done it, and who's succeeded. Mwah. And what's amazing about this is that weight, business, your body, your relationships, once you start creating that change, everything gets impacted in a positive way. And you don't have to go to a retreat. You don't have to like shush everybody out. You don't have to meditate for hours and hours. There's amazing little simple daily steps I'm going to share with you next week. That yes, there's some work to do, some fun work to do. I think you're there. I think you're done trying every diet or every possible thing and doing the same thing. It's just not working. Let's find out what you are hoarding. Let's release it. Let's bring that present moment and let's move forward. So excited about this. So I'm going to put the link right below for you to sign up. If also, again, if you want to purchase it for 90% off, you also have the link right below. And sign up, because you're going to have some amazing bonuses to those that actually sign up. And that's it. So I'll give you a bit of homework today to get you ready for next week's mindfulness course. Get a notepad, carry it with you, and write some of the thoughts that are keeping you stuck. Some of the fear-based thoughts, the anger-based thoughts, any fearful thoughts, any anger-based thoughts, any negative thoughts. I want you to kind of take a notepad and write them down, because you're going to see a lot of them actually repeat. So we're going to actually be able to know next week when we do this course, which ones we're going to start releasing and unhoarding, so that we can create space for growth and an amazing life. So comment right below if you have any questions. I cannot wait to have you in the course next week. Sign up below. You can also grab the course at 90% off. You're going to have a private group just for those that actually joined through the paid 90% off offer, so we can grow together at the same time and grab it, because it is at 90% off, and as soon as the course is done, the price is going up. So it's the price of a cup of coffee for a month. Pretty good. And longer lasting in your system than a caffeine that stays in your system for 6 to 12 hours. This is going to be a lifetime growth, lifetime interchange. So I'm so excited about this. So on that note, I cannot wait to see you in the course. I cannot wait till those are actually going to invest in their health, invest in this course, because you're going to have major bonuses to everybody that joins this course at 90% off. If you have any questions, message me. I am more than happy to be here and answer any questions that you have. So on that note, my name is Dina Merhbi. I'm a business and body balance coach, and I will see you in the next training.